everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm featuring the Treehouse Hugs in this monochromatic card. This card actually was created for the coloring challenge that Alberto organized on Instagram. It was about, well, monochromatic in this case, and I saw so many gorgeous cards. This video is a bit late, of course, but I don't know why, but in my head monochromatic is always like, well, I only did it so far in like grays and browns. Why do I think this limited? I saw like the most amazing greenish card and I was like, whoa. So maybe I need to find time, but if I find time, I want to try like a colorful monochromatic card. Okay, so for this card, since I was going to use grays, and the fact that you only use certain markers, you can go with different, let that be honest, you can go with several combinations, but actually this one is really simple. Limited amount of Copic markers, because I'm using the same grays for all of the critters. You can definitely vary in it, because some critters are lighter, some are darker, but that's all up to you. Because it was going to be this simple concerning the Copics, I decided to do some kind of a shadow study, which is really what I'm showing here. It's a bit of scribbling, and I'm not like a pro, so even though I did this study, it possibly still lacks some shadow somewhere. I didn't think about something or anything like that. So I put my light source there, as you can see, like the right top kind of, and so it changes a tiny bit for each critter. Like Winnie and Piglet, they have like the light source on top of them, the others it's from the side. So what do I do with light study? I don't know if I have enough time, because, and also I'm not an expert, but so first I add like the shadows there where the light is the farthest away. So for Piglet it's on the bottom and a bit on the right, and then I check where the things are overlapping, like the paws of Piglet, they are definitely overlapping the body, so underneath the paws I'm also adding shadow. And then for Tigger, for example, the light source is on the right, so first on the left side I'm adding the shadows, and then like the face is rounded, so on the bottom half of the face there is also a bit of shadowing. I don't know if it's clear like this, but I'm hoping that by showing you this shadow study that it can already give a bit of perspective about it. Also, you can see here on the bottom, again, it's not perfect, but like the shadowing for the grounding, I also took in like where the light source was. Now the same panel, but this time for real. This is Transotype perfect coloring paper. I'm stamping my images. I like the spacing that I had in between and the placement on like the angle. So just heat setting it in case you don't have to normally, but you never know. Then with my T-square ruler, I'm also adding already a thin line. I'm using a really light marker, the W0. This is not going to be my grounding, but it's just a guideline. Later on, I will use darker markers to go over it and really emphasize the grounding as well. Okay, so for the critters itself, I took the W7, 6, 4, and 2. For lighter areas, the W4 and 2. And then I also have the W0, as you saw, for the grounding as well, to blend out a little bit. So the shadowing here on each critter really is based on my shadow study. Actually having this shadow study like in front of me helped me go more quickly. Not that it's needed, but like I already figured out the shadowing, so I'm just following. Also something that my husband said, like, yeah, but the body of Piglet normally is darker, so why haven't you used another combination, a darker gray combination? And he's right, I could have, but you don't need to, you know? So that's all up to you. Maybe in the future I will get different colors for the body and such, but with this gray it was already going to be kind of dark, and so in my opinion, if I would have used like even a darker combination on the body, you wouldn't have had any shadowing or such. It would just be really dark. So I don't know. And something I wanted to ask you when you've watched this video or you saw the pictures, which critter, according to you, worked out the best? I'm really curious about that. So here I wanted to, again, the Winnie the Pooh. Let me just jump to another subject. But Winnie the Pooh here, so the light source is a bit above him, kind of on the righter side above him. So his feet and the body, the lower belly, gets like shadowing. And then you have the t-shirt. And because the t-shirt is like overhanging a bit, there is even a bit of shadowing right underneath the t-shirt. And that's why the whole bottom actually turned out the darkest color of my markers. Was it preventable? I don't know. Do you mind? I don't necessarily, but I would love to have your opinions about that. It just sometimes when you go really into the shadows, it can get really dark in some areas, and that's not an issue. Let that be sure. But you can always try to find ways for next time to do something different. Like the only thing that I really did different is like for Tigger, there the stripes I went in with a really dark marker as well, just to emphasize them as well. I think even that might be another marker. Oh, and I also used Polychromos pencils for this, just to emphasize some more on some shadows, to have it less flat. But I don't know again if it is really adding something or not. So if you want to let me know, definitely do so in the comments, because I'm really curious about it. I don't use my Faber-Castell pencils a lot because I'm just not really used to the medium, and I've tried in the past, but I saw online also that some people really emphasize some areas with the pencils. Maybe it would stand out a bit more with more colors on the card. I have no clue. I'm just trying something and I'm hoping that you like it, but I was really happy with the card. It ended up being a Happy Mail card. I used big hugs as a sentiment, so it actually leaves everything open. In my opinion, you can use it for a Happy Mail, you can use it for a birthday card. And then something that I also wanted to ask you, some of my dear friends lost someone along the way just when this card was finished. And because I know that it would go to the family and not to her, I actually didn't use the card, but because there were big hugs on it and it actually was great, I even thought about giving it as a condolence card, which maybe changes the whole look of this card and how you look at it, but isn't it an option? Like, isn't this the beauty also, because you make it light for them because you have these lovely images, but you know that it's struggle, and the gray for some reason is gray black is kind of linked to it as well. And then big hugs, I think it's a great sentiment for a condolence card, because that's what I would do if I would have been right beside them. I would give them a big hug and only let go whenever they are ready to let go. I don't know. So let me know. Okay, so wow, deep. I'm sorry that this twist has been added to the video, but maybe it can help. So from the pencils, I took the 199, which is the black one, I suppose, and then the 175, which is a brownish grayish kind of pencil. I have the warm grays here, so I thought that would go better than like cold gray pencils. I started really light with the black here, and actually while watching the video I can see a difference where I added it, but when I ended the card itself and I looked at it, I was like, where is the pencil? But it's really light, of course, so well, that's just me being inexperienced with adding pencil. But it does start to give something more. It also gives a bit of texture. Some people are really great at adding texture to their cards and their critters, and I'm jealous about it, must be honest. It's like a superpower if you can. It's the same way with with white jelly roll pen details. If you can do it, it's like a superpower. in my opinion. Uh, that being said, first the black, then the gray, and I'm just letting it fade out a bit more into the lighter areas as well. Then here the shadowing on the ground, I'm just tracing first that light gray marker. It doesn't had to be straight for me, so that's why I just freehanded it with the W4 here. And I'm just trying to mimic a bit what I did on the piece, well, the shadow study that I created. I'm not really great with grounding. I find it really hard. I also want it to fade out like really naturally, but adding things random or naturally is the hardest thing I find on the cards, because, well, we're just playing a bit with markers and we're trying our best. And some people, again, are great at it. And I'm always trying to figure out how they did it so that I can improve and show you something easy, doable as well. But it's a learning curve. And we will only learn if we try it. So sometimes you really need to get outside of that comfort zone and give us a bit of time to try things out. So I'm just fading it out like so. And then the W0. You don't have to add the complete W0 all over, but it just was the easiest way for me to blend it out. Well, also here I added some pencils. And I was, each time that I do like a voiceover, I take a blog post that I created to have like the supplies to mention it. And I can already see like the latest, the pictures that I added on the bottom of the blog post. And I think it's always funny because throughout this process, I can see how much the next step will still add something more. So that's kind of cool. So there we are. Shadow study aside, do you think that it matches? It's kind of, did I follow? I think I did. And then for the sentiment, as I said, big hugs. It's from the Big Hugs Woodland stamp set by Hello Bluebird. And I'm first adding the hugs, and then I will just really softly add the big ahead of the hugs. The hugs can also be stand out in die cut. But in this case, I just wanted to have a one layered card. Really softly adding that big. I don't want it to be bigger or wider than the script itself. I'm adding some white highlights to the eyes. I'm not adding any other white jelly roll pen details. I really wanted the shadow study and the gray to stand out in this case. Fixing some mistakes that I had. The colorless blender is a lifesaver. I have repeated it already in many videos, but if you haven't purchased like a colorless blender, truly you're missing out, because anything can be fixed with a bit of a colorless blender. Next up, adding the panel to a card base, and then this card is completely finished. I was really happy to be challenged to try again the monochromatic, because it had been a while, and maybe that this video can challenge you as well if you haven't seen the challenge on Instagram. But since there was a challenge, there are a lot of inspiration. So check it out if you want to get inspired to try the monochromatic card yourself. Thank you so much for being here, for having the patience to wait for this video. Thank you so much. I'll be back soon with some more craft inspiration. Bye!